Melody posted this on her page. She said, after you fast, the enemy is always going to do what the enemy does. I always tell you all to watch. I have been quiet because I've been focusing and taking care of some other things. I discovered that they were more important. Okay, so other things I discovered that were more important. But that doesn't mean I wasn't taking notes. Okay, so that's the first thing that she had to say. Hello to those who are just joining. Okay, so then she said, now see, I hadn't gone live and said anything, but since I supposedly did without fact checking happening first, watch this. Okay, now first of all, who do y'all think Melody is talking about? Because who has been out here trying to annoy Miss Melody Shari, honey? Because who has been alleging that she said something that she didn't say? If you guys know, please put it in the chat, because I was not privy to this. I didn't really know who she may have been referring to, but I'm curious to hear what you guys think. Put it in the chat. Who do you think Melody is referring to? Okay, so then she says, she says, after you fast, the enemy is always going to do what the enemy does. I always tell you all to watch. I've been quiet because I've been focusing and taking care of some other things. I discovered that. Hold on, I already covered that. Give me a second, guys. Okay, so I think I went back by mistake when I was recording this. Give me a second. So then she says that then it seems to move into this, which then she reposted this that says, stay away from people who act like a victim in the problem they created. And this is such an important point, because sometimes you always have these people who will start-ish, they will stir it up, and then all of a sudden when they have to deal with the implications and the consequences of what they have created, all of a sudden they are innocent, and that was not their intention. So yeah, I'll definitely say it's very interesting that she's saying this. I'm very curious as to who she's referring to. Then she says, then we see a little bit of her face. Sorry, I don't know why it keeps going back. Then she reposts this video by, I think her name is Mama Joyce. And it's basically saying, never in this life, let me try and make it slightly bigger. Never in this life can you be my friend if you can sit in the presence of my enemies and enjoy their company. Okay. And then Melody then says, now this is true. And don't be afraid to cut people off who do this. I did this happily, and I promise it brought me back so much peace. And to be honest, I know some people say it's very petty, but I actually, in my experience, I found that it actually makes a lot of sense. If people are constantly hanging with all of the people that don't like you, especially people that are so vocal about not liking you, then it's like they're definitely talking about you. They are finding opportunities to probably be over there laughing at you, talking about you. So what's the point in like being friends with people like that? Because one, they would carry anything you tell them, run it over to the other side. And it's just like, what really is the point? So that's what she then posted. So I believe she posted all of this on Saturday, right? And I just kept thinking, who could she be talking about? Hello, Manya Brown. Thank you for joining tonight. I don't think I've heard your name before. Are you new to the channel? Let us know if you're new to the channel. Everybody say hello to Manya. D says, I wouldn't be surprised if it wasn't the usual suspect who was constantly lying on her. Now, D, does the usual suspect start with something like an M and the next letter is an A? Let me know, because that would be who I would think the usual suspect is. So if you have anybody else in mind that you think is the usual suspect and I'm wrong, please let me know. But if I had to choose one person, I would say this is definitely given that some stuff are happening in the background that she's probably not able to tell us at this point with good old Marty M. That's who I think it is. D says yes. Okay, so D and I are on the same page. That is definitely what it's given. The other thing I thought about was, could it be about, that lady that came around recently in the last couple of, I think it was like last month or something, and was basically saying that she had some sort of beef with Mel. She was basically saying she wasn't treated well, something along those lines. So I wouldn't be shocked if it was her, but I think the reason I don't think it's her is because this doesn't really give the impression, this gives the impression that this is someone that she has at least been close to, if we look at everything together, because it says now this is true. Don't be afraid to cut people off who do this. And then if we go back to the start, she basically says she has been quiet, but doesn't mean she's not taking notes. And then this is where it gets a little bit tricky, because it says I hadn't gone live and said anything, but since I supposedly did. So it sounds like whoever it is that she's talking about is somebody who she has in the past, who has in the past basically said or lied on her, or basically said something about her going live or her talking about it, because it's a specific point. I hadn't gone live and said anything, but since I supposedly did without fact checking happening first, right? So it sounds like someone is basically accusing her of going live or saying, or at least saying something that she didn't. And it's just like when people go around accusing other people, it's like, yo, don't you at least get some proof? If you're going to be out here saying someone said something, the least you can do is find the proof to back what it is that you're saying up. And so I've never understood people who just do that and don't find any sort of proof to back what it is that they're saying. So hello to those who have just joined. Please hit that like button as you guys come in. Please hit that like button. We're currently talking about Melody, but we have a lot more to talk about today. So it is going to be a long show. So get a drink, hit that like button, and enjoy the show. Alpha Dallas, hey, it's been a while. It has been a while. Listening from Dallas, how are you? It's been a while. I hope you're good. Alpha 21 says, I kind of feel it's either Martell or Neil. Oh, okay. Now that would be interesting. I think I would not, it doesn't sound too far-fetched that it may be nil. And the reason I say it may not be too far-fetched that it is nil is because of this last point that she made where she said, let me move it back there, where she talks about never in the life can you be my friend. Now it's not her saying that, but this is what the lady said. Never in my life can you be my friend if you can sit in the presence of my enemies and enjoy their company. Then she says at the top, now this is true and don't be afraid to cut people off who did this. I did this happily and I promise it brought me so much peace. Now we know her and Nell are not really friends no more. And I think that is basically what Nell did, in my opinion, right? Just from outside looking in. So you may actually be onto something, Alpha Dallas, by saying it may actually be Nell, because I don't necessarily think this will directly apply to Martell now that I think about it, unless she's talking about someone completely different when she talks about this as well, right? So yeah, maybe I should put a poll up. Let me put a poll up. I'm not new, but are you referring to Tisha or Martell? Oh, so Mana says she's not new. Okay. But you are referring to Tisha or Martell. Yes. So at the moment, I basically started off thinking it was Martell, but then this particular post makes me wonder if it is someone else, because it's talking about someone sort of hanging with the ops, right? So that's where it becomes a little bit tricky to decipher. And I'm now feeling like that one may not be about Martell. So what I want to do is I want to put up a poll, because I feel like this is something I think I want to get to the bottom of and see what you guys think as to who the person is. So I'll put up a poll. Give me a second, guys. I'm typing. It's just me tonight. Do you think okay, so I just put up a poll. Please vote on the poll so I know who you think Melody is referring to. I actually wanted to also put one other person, but there was no space for me to put everyone in. So I was just like, let me just put someone else in case somebody wants to vote. Okay, so Karen says, can I marry? She should worry about her so-called husband. Okay, I think you are referring to Kenchi in allegedly. So yeah, we'll get into that. Catherine says, just maybe it starts with the ST. Ooh. So Stormy, that was the other name that I was going to put in there, but I could not fit it in. So I just put someone else in case it is not any of these people at the top. So you guys keep voting. If you also think it's Stormy, put it in the someone else category. Yeah, I definitely do wonder who it is. Guys, please hit that like button as you guys are voting. I'm looking at the votes, and so far it looks like Nell is really leading. The people really believe it is Nell. Okay, so I'm gonna give you guys, keep voting. Let's see who it finally ends up with. So far, Nell is still leading. The people think it's Nell. So Nell is still leading, then after which it is Martell. So I'm just going to leave that there and show you the other things that Melody posted, and then we'll get back to the other stuff. We'll get back to the poll later on, but you guys keep voting so that I can come back and then see what the final result is. Okay, so this she posted on a different day, so more recently, saying it's so deep and I will be sharing because I know it's some of you who are going through the same thing, maybe don't even realize what is happening or why things seem off. What I will say for now is no weapon prospers over here. Now find somebody safe to play with. Melody is like, do not play with me. I'm not here for it. Okay. So let me see what she says next. And then she posted, now they're saying, oh, you're dressing up again today. Or, oh, you're filming today. Wait, hair and makeup is about to be here. Yeah, all of that. Ooh, so I low-key feel like this is Melody also confirming that there's going to be a TV show. You guys remember that I talked about it a couple of days ago, and I was saying that could this be that there is going to be a TV show that Melody is going to be doing? And now the fact that she's saying, people are asking, oh, are you filming today? And she's like, yeah, all of that. That is given that there is a TV show that Mel is involved in. This is just my opinion. She has not fully confirmed it, but that is the vibe that I get from reading what Melody is saying over here. Now, let me see what the people are saying. For those who have just come in, please hit that like button, smash that like button. Don't be stingy with the likes today, honey, because this is happy news. We're talking about Melody Shari to begin with, and then we will get into the other people that we will be talking about today. D says, I only deal with Melody from that cast because I stopped watching the show when Melody left. To be honest, you are right. They're here in good company because a lot of people that are also here tonight no longer watch the show. They're just here to support Melody. And if Melody is filming, I cannot wait to see whatever project it is that she's doing. I hope it is a TV show, and I will find a way to watch it over here and promote the content for you guys. So we are going to be waiting. If anyone has some inside scoop, please don't hesitate to drop it over here. Alf Dalla says, my guesses are always wrong. Alf is so funny to me. Alf says, my guesses are always wrong, but the clues just seem like Nell more than any of the former cast members because of how Nell and Chris made it a point to hang with Melody's ops. Exactly. That is what I really think it is. That's what I really think it is. Now, at first I thought maybe Martell, but the more I saw the other bits about hanging with the ops, I started to think this definitely is giving very Nell, because Nell was the one that was really hanging with the ops. The only other person that I can see that was also hanging with the ops, which is Martell, is Stormy, who brought Martell onto her TikTok live thing, right? So I would say that's another person that I feel like was acting like an op, which is why I put someone else, because I was going to put Stormy, but I was like, in case you all think it's some other person, let me just put that as an additional option. So I personally think it's either Nell or it is Stormy that she's referring to, and I think it will be very interesting to see if she does clear that up for us. Hey, Miss Linda. Everyone say hello to Miss Linda Gamble. Hey, D says, Melody is a star and deserves to shine her light on TV. Oh yes, I completely agree with that, and I think that she has been thoroughly missed on Love and Marriage Huntsville. The people are now finally having to work for that check, which I am happy about, but she has been missed her on the show, missed seeing more of her, missed her doing a lot more of her lives. So I am definitely excited to basically have her over here. So yeah, everyone, I love how everyone is saying hi to Miss Linda Gamble. Yes, lovely. Okay, so let me read the other thing that she